earlier today as the city was under a wind warning for most of the afternoon and well into the evening, with winds clocking in at 100 kilometers per hour.
And that's how May 4th started, the day I decided to launch the Tiki Hut. As we drove to the boatyard to launch, you can see here, harborfront doesn't even look that rough. But what we encountered was pretty crazy. Here we are launching the Tiki Hut. There was nobody in line, only the one employee of Uli's Boatyard on Cherry Street here in Toronto. He was very accommodating. We were able to launch the boat right away. But when we went out in the harborfront, the waves were quite large, and pictures and video never really capture how large those waves are. It was quite rough, and especially when harborfront is protected by the island.
One hell of a maiden voyage for poor little Tiki Hut. We have winds gusting, depending on who you ask, 70 kilometers an hour or 90 kilometer an hour gusts. I think it's a sustained 35, 40. I've never seen the harborfront this rough before. It is crazy. Maybe we should have launched tomorrow. Really?
As we approached Toronto Island, we thought we better hide out inside Hanlon's Wall and take a look at the beach. And being May 4th, you can see there were no leaves on the trees and a very calm inlet until we were able to dock on the island.
I can't believe the sound of the wind and the waves. They must be really high crashing in. I don't know if I'm going to hit the marina tonight. Oh my God.
So we went over to the island marina for some shelter and a meal and tried to wait out the storm. We went for a walk through the island. You can see a sailboat knocked over on its carriage there. at the boatyard behind the island marina, and there's a tree in the distance that was completely knocked over. Here's a closer up shot of it. You can see how uprooted it is and the hole that was left. It was crazy. And on the south side of the pier, there must have been 8 to 10 foot swells coming in. Again, video and pictures don't quite capture it. So we hid out the Island Marina pub for about 3 hours waiting for the wind to die down, and it finally did at one point. But here's the news that we saw at 11 o'clock.
This was Toronto earlier today as the city was under a wind warning for most of the afternoon and well into the evening, with winds clocking in at 100 kilometers per hour. I'm Natish Basono near Billy Bishop Airport, where it's the calm after the storm, a windstorm that caused all sorts of damages in almost every corner of the city. Strong winds knocking down several trees and branches. This was a scene near High Park, which police actually closed for several hours. And over near Queen and Roncesvalles, another tree falling, this time on top of this house and damaging the rooftops. On the streets, debris was flying everywhere. This was Mother Nature sweeping Church Street. And it wasn't just debris flying around. If you looked up, you'll notice it wasn't a plane, it wasn't a bird. It was patio furniture falling off balconies near Yonge and Bloor. The streetlights definitely didn't stand a chance either. This one barely hanging by a thread. It's a good thing it's the weekend because the roof was blown off Lawrence Heights Middle School. The winds didn't even spare Franz's downtown location. You can order up, but the sign was down. The weather also made for some tricky flying conditions at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. The strong winds meant waves were crashing onto part of the runway, with crews scrambling to clear the water. And then this happened. A Porter plane arriving from New York at around 6:30 in the evening tried to land not once but twice, having had to abort landing the first time around because it was struggling to stay on course due to the wicked winds.
I thought they were going to abort it again. Like, I was like, there's no way he's going to actually try to land this plane. It was like going left and right. It was pretty nuts. And yeah, people were gasping. and right before we landed, the plane actually kind of like dipped at the very last moment. So we were like, ah. And then people threw up. It was pretty messy.
Porter Airlines telling City News, pilots undertake a variety of training to fly in such weather. The winds also pushing debris, branches, and down power lines onto tracks and streetcars, causing all sorts of problems for the TTC. Of course, the wind warning has ended, but you can still see the remnants of the storm, and now comes the worst part, cleaning up and calling your insurance. Near Billy Bishop Airport, I'm Natish Basono, City News.
So we were forced to crash on the boat that night. And here's the aftermath in the morning. You can see how calm everything is and big branches that the storm had brought in. And you can see how calm the water is as we approached my slip at Ontario Place Marina. I think I was boat number 8 to arrive for the first day that our marina was open. And looking forward to better weather for the rest of the season.